Okay, so we are in the last part of the Eurovision ukulele series. Prepare yourself to learn all of the songs in the song-along scene from Lemtov's house, where everyone bursts into musical song, being able to harmonize with each other on the spot and change the medley songs as they go, somehow anticipating exactly what the other is going to do. This never actually happens in real life, which is why it's so wonderful when it happens in these kinds of movies. If you're here, it's because you've probably watched part 1, part 2, I don't know how many parts there are. If you haven't, there's a link down in the description to all of the other parts, singular or plural, and there's also a link down in the description to a chord sheet where you can use that to play along, so make sure that you're checking that out. It's down in my Patreon. It is free. There's also a chord book, though, that you can get if you are a patron. It's got like almost 60 songs in it from all the other covers and stuff, tutorials that I've done. Okay, we're gonna jump into the song along. Here we go. So we of course start the entire medley with Cher's infamous Believe. Now, the key that I'm going to do this in is not going to be a very ukulele-friendly key. I will put a ukulele-friendly key version down in the link in my Patreon. So if you're looking for chords for this version, the non-ukulele-friendly version, and the ukulele-friendly version will be down in the link. But I really wanted to challenge myself and challenge you guys to doing this in the original key from the movie so that you could actually play it with the people as they're singing in the song along, because I think that playing to music is so important to actually growing as a musician. It's really fun to play by yourself, but learning how to keep with other people when, of course, you can't do that in quarantine, this is your next best option. So this is the original key from the movie, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be a total pain in the tuchus, but it's gonna be worth it, and I'm gonna be with you every step of the way. Here we go. As usual with all of the songs that were originally written or put together for this movie, it's either in the key of C sharp or F sharp, and in this case, it's F sharp. So you're gonna have F sharp, A sharp minor, B and C sharp, G sharp minor, and D sharp minor. Now for F sharp, all you're gonna do is you're gonna have to bar that very first fret. So if you've been following along with some of the other videos, like we thought of our barring with our D7 and our B7, and we are now going to bar this top fret up here, and we're gonna use the next 2 fingers. We're not gonna use the pinky. Pinky gets a break. We're gonna use the next 2 fingers after our bar. We're gonna put the ring finger all the way across on the 3rd fret on that very first string, and then we're going to take the middle finger and put that on the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. So this is what we've got going on right here, and that is your F sharp. To go to A sharp minor, you actually know this. So we were here for our F sharp, right? All you're going to do to change it to the A sharp minor is you're going to get rid of the middle finger. And now it's an A sharp minor. So it's pretty easy coming out of the F sharp into the A sharp minor. So we had F sharp, we take the middle finger off, and voila, we have A sharp minor. Now when we jump to B, we're gonna have to change to a nubbin bar. A nubbin bar is what I call when you have to only bar with one finger, one little fingertip on all a couple strings. So for B, you're going to take your ring finger and you're going to put it on the 4th fret. Then you're going to stack the next one right next to it on the 3rd fret. So that's middle finger on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Then you take your pointer finger and you're going to do your nubbin bar. So nubbin bar means that my pointer finger is only pushing down on the 3rd and 4th string on that 2nd fret. And so you get a B major chord. And then for our C sharp, we're going to go back to barring on the top. So a lot of these chords have to do with bars. So we're gonna go back to barring that top fret, and then we're gonna stretch our ring finger. This is gonna be some serious ukulele finger yoga. We're gonna stretch our forefinger, or our ring finger, all the way down to the 4th fret on that highest string. And that is our C sharp. I'm using my middle finger to help give me some pressure. I'm kind of cheating. Fully encourage the cheating. I fully encourage the cheating. So that's our C sharp. Now the G sharp minor is maybe my 2nd least favorite chord ever next to the one that's going to come last, but the G sharp minor is is strange for a lot of reasons, but mostly because everything feels kind of like the game of Twister. Like your fingers are playing a game of Twister by themselves. And so I'm gonna start with my pinky. This is how I work it in. I start with my pinky. I go to the 4th fret with my pinky and I put it on the 3rd string. Then I take my ring finger and I skip one. So we got sort of this boy, girl, every other thing happening. And I put that on the 1st string on that same 4th fret. Then I take my middle finger. I'm gonna put it up on the 3rd fret to create the triangle. So I've created a triangle. Yes. And then I have to take my pointer finger and scoot it all the way over to that 2nd fret on the last string. And there's your G sharp minor. Now, it seems simple enough, but the problem is that your fingers are never really in this position. You have to like do some kind of Gabby Douglas finger gymnastics to get there, like full tuck, half circle, pike flip situation. So just be prepared for that. I will probably crash and burn the entire time in this first section because of the G sharp, can't even say it, because of the G sharp minor. And then the last one is maybe one of my least favorite chords and is the biggest challenge for me personally, and that is D sharp minor, also known as E flat minor. Now, for this one, we're gonna take our pinky and our ring finger and we're gonna put that on our 3rd fret and we're gonna put it on those first 2 strings. Then we're gonna stack the rest of them. So we're gonna put our middle finger on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then we're gonna put our pointer finger on the 1st fret on the last string. And I think I don't like this chord because I have big old man hands, so if you're a tiny hand person, you might like this. But it's quite a bit for us long-fingered folk to squeeze into that small space. So it's also a little unusual. You don't generally go to this position very much, and so it's gonna be something to practice, certainly is for me. I might not make it every time when we do it, but there is your E flat minor or your D sharp minor, which are the same thing. So if there's something for you to practice from this, it's going from G sharp minor to D sharp minor. That is the doozy. Now for this first song, I tend to just do simple 1 strums down because it's kind of like you're building in the people. Lemtoff is kind of working his way around the room, and you know, Will Ferrell is looking around wide-eyed and bushy-tailed at all of these singers in the song-along. And so we just do some simple strums and it kind of eases us into the pain of doing all of these F sharp, C sharp type chords. So here we go. 1, 2, here we go. No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside and I can't break through. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it. But after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one, oh. And this is where I start doing a strum. Pick your strum. You can do any strum. I'm gonna do some chucking. 1, 2, here we go. Do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, really don't think you're strong enough, no. I barely made it. I don't know where you're at, but I barely made it. Hopefully you're doing better than me. And now we're transitioning into the next song. And the great thing about the second song in this is that really you can kind of get away with only playing one chord that you already know, and that is F sharp. Now, you could add in some extra chords. So if you're wanting more of a challenge and you really want to practice moving quickly between chords, then you also will need to know E and C sharp minor 7. Now E is kind of one of those chords that you try to avoid. I try to avoid on ukulele, but in contrast with some of these other chords, it's actually quite easy. So you're going to take your ring finger, your third finger, and you're going to put that on the 4th fret on the 2nd string. Then you're gonna take your middle finger and put that on the 2nd fret on the last string. After that, you're gonna take your one finger, your pointer, and you're gonna stretch him all the way across until he gets to the 1st string on the very 1st fret. So we've got this very spidery looking situation happening here. And if you have the spider, you probably have an E major chord. Now the C sharp minor 7, what you're gonna do is you're gonna going to take these two, your first and second finger, you're going to put them on the first two strings on the first fret. Then you're going to take your ring finger and put it on the second fret on that last string over there. And there is your C sharp minor 7. Not too complicated. It's about moving between them that becomes complicated. So here's what happens. We're going to do our F sharp chord for a whole bunch of this. And this is transitioning into Madonna's Ray of Light. And I feel like I just got home, and I feel, don't think it's strong enough, and I feel like I just got home, and I feel. And right there, you can choose to just play the F sharp. If you want to get fancy, you're going to play those other chords. And your order is going to be F sharp, E, B, C sharp minor, and then B again, and then F sharp again. I told you this was not going to be easy. So we're gonna give that a try, and we're gonna go even a little slower than the actual song. So when you do the actual song, you can feel all the craziness that you want, but we're gonna take it down a notch here. 1, 2, 3. And I feel like I just got home, and I feel, don't think you're strong enough, and I feel like I just got home, and I feel. Again, you can totally choose to do just the F sharp on that section. I might choose to do that myself. Now, as we transition into the third song, you keep doing that F sharp as they continue with the quicker than a ray of light line, and then it's going to jump into Waterloo. By the one and only ABBA. For that transition, you're going to need a D diminished 7 added to your repertoire of chords for this song. Now, I really love the D diminished 7 chord because it's one of my favorite structures for the fingers to be in. It's sort of like a boy girl on top of each other. We went through one of these kinds of chords in the previous Eurovision videos, so if you want some more information on how to stack these, check out those other Eurovision videos. But for this specific D diminished 7, you're gonna take your pinky and ring finger and you're gonna do a boy girl on the second fret. And that's gonna be the last string and the second string. Then you're gonna do the same thing, but you're gonna do it on the first fret with these two fingers. And so you're gonna do the third string and the first string. So you've got boy girl right on top of each other there. And that is your, ooh, don't you just, you wanna live inside that chord. And then from there, you're gonna jump straight into the most hated E flat minor. Right there, you've got your 2 and then your stack. And so that's going to be from our F sharp, we're gonna do Waterloo, I was defeated, you won. There's our C sharp. We go to the D dim 7, and then E flat minor, war. And when you play it with the recording, it's like so juicy. You just kind of like melt right into it. It's really fun. So we're gonna try that up to speed before we jump into the actual Waterloo section. So this is just the transition. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. And then it goes into this very like, and it sounds very like Euro rave. Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. So the new chords that you'll need for the main chunk of Waterloo are gonna be G sharp and C sharp 7. We already know G sharp, but we know it as F sharp. So when we had our bar here, and we had our forefinger here, and our middle finger here, right, our F sharp, we've been doing that a lot. All you have to do is scoot that up, boopa, badu, to the 3rd fret. We are now barring the 3rd fret, and that's actually your G sharp. So we already know the position, we just have to remember that G sharp is 2 frets closer to the bottom of the ukulele, even though it makes the sound go higher. And our C sharp 7 is actually pretty easy because we already know our C sharp, yes? And instead of putting our ring finger down here, we're gonna put it on the 2nd fret on that bottom string, the high string. We're gonna put it right there to give us our C sharp 7. All right, so we're gonna take this a little bit slower just to make sure that we get all those chords in there. So here we go. Once again, picking the strum of your choice, I do a down, chuck, up, chuck, up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. My, At Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Oh yeah, I might have met my destiny in quite a similar way. The history book on the shelf is always repeating itself. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Okay, now this one is going to jump into Ne partez pas sans moi. This is a Celine Dion song. I will fully admit that I didn't know this song until I saw Eurovision. Now for this one, you're going to need a couple extra chords. You're gonna need a B minor, which you should already know how to do if you watched my other videos for Eurovision. A very horrifying sounding F sharp flat 5 over A sharp, but it's really like one of the easiest chords that we play in the entire thing. And a C sharp sus 4, which is based on your C sharp, so it's not too bad. Now for B minor, all you need to do is take that bar that we've been doing and move it to the 2nd fret. So you're gonna move it to the 2nd fret, and then you're going to take your ring finger and put it on the 4th fret on the very 1st string. Again, use your middle finger to help that 2nd finger push everything down on the bar. So there's your B minor. Now the new F sharp flat 5 over A sharp. So you're going to take your pointer finger, you're going to put that all the way across on the 1st fret 1st string. Then you're going to take your middle finger and put that on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So it should look like that. And then the last one, you're going to add your ring finger all the way on the 3rd fret on the bottom string, on that highest string. And there is your F sharp flat 5 over A sharp. Don't you feel fancy? And the last one for our little Celine Dion portion of the song along is C sharp sus 4. So you want to go to your C sharp. We already know C sharp. So all we're going to do to make this sus is we're going to add a little extra tension. So how that's going to work is instead of using your middle finger to help you push down, for just a second, you're going to have to like do the work with that pointer finger, and you're going to add that 3rd finger onto the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. And that's going to give you a little bit of dissonance before you release it back to the regular C sharp. So we have C sharp sus 4, and then we have regular C sharp. Do we hear the resolution? I hope we hear the resolution. Now, when I sing this, it's going to be all over the place and make no sense, and every French person is going to hate me, and that's just the way that it's going to be. And I'm gonna have to sing incredibly high because this is for singers that are singing up in the stratospheres, and that ain't me. And we're gonna go back to a regular, just strum down on this. We're not gonna be doing anything crazy with our strums because this is sort of like an in-between. It's kind of like a slowdown before the final big push into the last song, which we are coming close to. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Ne partez pas sans moi, laissez-moi sauver. Vous qui volez vers le bout, laissez-moi sauver de pas dun, dun. And then you're gonna go straight into that F sharp to get into the next song. Oh boy, was that French the exact opposite of a delight. All right, so the best part of this last song, which is Black Eyed Peas' I Got a Feelin', is that you don't have to learn any more chords. You know all of the chords at this point. It's just about putting them all together. And we're gonna be going back to a strum of your choice. So again, I'm gonna choose something with a chuck because I think it adds a little bit of beat that we need to keep it moving, but that is up to you. So we're gonna do an F sharp first, then we're gonna go to a B, we're gonna go to our D sharp minor, and we're gonna go back to the B, we're gonna go back to the F sharp, back to the B, back to the D sharp minor, and back to the B. So that part is pretty like, you can predict what's going to happen. It's not too crazy. It's the same chords, you just do them repeated. So you have F sharp, B, D sharp minor, B. F sharp, B, D sharp minor, B. Then we're gonna do an extra B after that last one. We're gonna go to our C sharp, sus4, which we just learned for the French. And then we're going to resolve it to the C sharp and end on our favorite chord, the F sharp. So let's go ahead and give this one a go up to speed since these chords aren't too crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Feel it fill up my cup. Mazel tov. Quicker than a ray of light. Tonight's gonna be a good night. I really don't think it's strong enough, no. Quicker than a ray of light. Tonight's gonna be a good night. And that is the whole song. So now, if we dare, we will try the entire thing from beginning to end. I don't know. I might have to pause to scroll because there's a lot of chords here and I certainly don't have them memorized. Have fun with it and don't be too hard on yourself because these chords are trash. I don't even like doing them. But for the sake of being able to play with the original soundtrack, I'm doing it for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside and I can't break through. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it. But after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one. Oh, do you believe in life after love? Something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough. Now I feel like I just got home and I feel, don't think you're strong enough. And I feel like I just got home and I feel quicker than a ray of light. Quicker than a ray of light. I really don't think you're strong enough. Waterloo, I almost defeated you on the war. My, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Oh yeah, I might have met my destiny in quite a similar way. The history book on the shelf is always repeating itself. Waterloo, I always defeated you on the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Ne pas penser c'est moi, laissez-moi souffrir. Vous qui volez vous savez, I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I got a feeling, fill up my cup. Mazel tov. Quicker than a ray of light. Tonight's gonna be a good night. I really don't think you're strong enough, no. Quicker than a ray of light. Tonight's gonna be a good night. Oh my god, I never want to play that again. Do your hands hurt? My hands that are cramping. There's a cramp in my fingers. Oh my god. Yay for the song along. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I when I started that project of trying to figure out what the chords were to the song, I didn't think I'd actually crack it and like figure out the whole thing. Make sure you've downloaded that chord sheet down below so that you can grab that and play along as you stream on whatever thing you're streaming on, or with the movie when you're watching the movie for the billionth time. Which of the songs from the song along is one that, like, when you heard it, you were like, yes! You were so excited that they included that in the medley. I know what mine is, and I'm not gonna tell you what mine is because I don't want you to get tainted by my biased song-along opinion. Have your own thoughts down in the comments. I can't believe we are finally at the end of this series. Oh my god. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you've watched like all the parts to this, you're the jam. You are why I'm here, so thank you for that. And if you liked this and any of the other ones, make sure that you hit the like button so that I know that you like it. Make sure that you also hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed and that ding-a-ling bell because I've got videos coming out every single day this month. Come hell or high water, I'm gonna try to get it done, and I could completely crash and burn. It's entirely possible because who knows what tomorrow brings. If there's anything I've learned about this pandemic and teaching in public education, you never know what's happening. And as my principal so aptly put it, we are building the plane as we fly it. I have never heard a better description for 2020 than that right there. So make sure that you stick around for some of the stuff I've got coming up in the next few weeks. I love you guys. Until the next one, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. It's time for outros and thank yous for watching. Now please like and subscribe. Please validate my existence by coming